Hey everyone, Professor Malat here with another hopefully brief video. I want to address thesis statements because I feel like I didn't do enough lecture-wise. I've been pointing you in the directions with the readings and providing some resources online, and I would just like to go over the page that I created after looking at some of the discussion board for this week. So to clarify, your thesis statement needs to have a few parts to it, and it's usually 1 to 2 sentences long. For an argumentative essay, which is what we're dealing with in this unit, your thesis should include a few things. So you're going to have a topic. You're also going to have a stance, or the position that you're taking within that argument. And then ideally, you will have several points or claims that you will be making within the body of the paper. So right now, I just want you to focus on a working thesis. It doesn't need to be perfect yet. We're going to be working on it. You're going to be learning how to revise it and really narrow your focus so that your thesis is focused and concise, and it gives your reader an idea of what you're going to do within the body of your paper. So here's an example from the Purdue OWL website. At least 25% of the federal budget should be spent on helping upgrade business to clean technologies, researching renewable energy sources, and planting more trees in order to control or eliminate pollution. So what I've done here is I've highlighted the various portions of this thesis statement. It's concise, it's focused, and it lets the reader know where this writer is going to go with this argument. The topic is controlling or eliminating pollution, right? In the yellow here, we have the stance, which takes the stance 25% of the federal budget should be spent. Notice this word here, should. That is a key word. It is indicating that the author or the writer has taken a position. Something should be done. That is the whole point of an argumentative essay or a research argument paper. And then lastly, in blue, we have the claims or the reasons why or the reasons how that money should be spent. It should be spent upgrading business to clean technologies, researching renewable energy, and planting more trees. So it's a rather formulaic way that sets up the writer to easily compose what would be a 5-paragraph essay. Of course, your work is a bit more extensive in the research argument, and it's beyond the scope of a 5-paragraph essay. Yet you can still use this type of organizing principle. There I go again, organizing principles, right? Sometimes it's best to reserve those claims, the details about those claims, for a second sentence. So you could have a thesis that's 2 sentences instead of 1. This is a long, complex sentence. You could break it up into 2 sentences, especially if you have more claims than 1, 2, and 3, right? In this assignment, you've been asked to provide several claims. And that's so that you can develop each claim and use your sources as evidence to back up your claims. So to answer the question, somebody said, I'm not sure if a thesis statement is supposed to be 1 sentence, 2 sentences. I don't know how long it's supposed to be. Typically, they're 1 to 2 sentences. And that's for a reason. We don't want you to ramble with your thesis. We want you to get to the point, and readers want to know where they're heading. So sometimes it's best to reserve those details to a second sentence that follows your 2-part thesis of the topic and the stance. And when you're clear about those claims that you'll be making throughout the paper, the task of writing becomes easier for you. It's not going to be easy, but it becomes slightly easier. So another thing to be careful of in your thesis statement is to forego announcements. We want you to not make announcements in your thesis. So don't use phrases like, in this paper, I will, or we will, or this paper argues or asserts. Those types of phrases weaken your writing. Instead, just state your claim and make your stance evident. So here there are a couple of examples of what not to do. This paper argues that the movie JFK is inaccurate in its portrayal of President Kennedy. In this paper, I will describe the portrayal of President Kennedy that is shown in the movie JFK. So while the first example is an argument, it also is announcing, and it isn't as strong as the thesis that we have below. And the second one provides no argument, but it just sets up the reader or the writer to do a more descriptive or expository essay, which is something you can't do if you're doing an assignment for an argumentative essay, right? So here's an example of stronger theses. The movie JFK inaccurately portrays President Kennedy because of the way it ignores Kennedy's youth, his relationship with his father, and the findings of the Warren Commission. Again, this is kind of a setup for a 5-paragraph essay, but it could definitely be expanded into a much longer paper that is longer than 5 paragraphs. It could be 5 sections, right? And each of these claims could be expanded to have subclaims and so on and so forth. So why is this one stronger? We have the topic, the movie JFK, right? We have the stance or the argument. Where is it? I mean, I have it highlighted here. It inaccurately portrays President Kennedy, right? That's somebody who's got an opinion. Somebody thinks the movie inaccurately portrays President Kennedy. And why? The writer follows up with 3 claims that will be expanded, meaning Kennedy's youth, the relationship with his father, and the findings of the Warren Commission. So you get an idea of what to do and what not to do. Don't announce, just write. So a thesis, as I said before, kind of provides the readers with the direction that you're going to take them in your paper. It provides the reader with a map. So when you're stating your main claims, you provide that roadmap for your audience to follow you through your paper. And this helps with cohesiveness and a logical progression between different but related ideas. Each of those claims can then be developed into topic sentences for your body paragraphs. And then this helps to signal your main points, and it keeps your audience engaged, which is a fantastic thing. So a well-crafted thesis is a thing of beauty, but it takes time and it takes practice, and I don't expect you to have it perfect the first time, right? So for those of you who are struggling, sometimes it helps to use a type of formula to develop a working thesis statement. So we have some examples here. Although most readers of blank have argued that blank, closer examination shows that blank. And I mean, I hate reading through these, but they make a lot of sense. Phenomenon X is a result of the combination of X, Y, and Z, right? Here we have point 1, point 2, point 3. The thing about these formulas, they share 2 characteristics all thesis statements should have. They state an argument and they reveal how you will make that argument. They're not specific enough, however, and require more work, which means it's just a working thesis, right? So all of this information was taken from the Purdue OWL link, the strong thesis statements, which I have linked here, and writing a thesis and making an argument from the University of Iowa. These 2 resources are really helpful. This section here is actually taken from a book called, hold on, let me share with you. So you see here, the name of the book is called They Say, I Say. This is from the 4th edition, The Moves That Matter in Academic Writing. So this is actually a pretty cool book regarding argumentative writing specifically, and I think I will upload this to the course so that you have access to it. I know I saw in our textbook, and I can't remember which chapter it was in, but they also incorporate some of those formulas that help writers to get started with what it is that they really want to say. So that can be helpful, using those formulas to jumpstart your writing and to help you a bit as you learn the ins and outs of argumentative and persuasive writing. So if you have any questions, please email me and I'll be happy to try to help you out. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.